The angel said to Joseph mild, fly with the mother and...
Well, I'd heard of the Wexford Carols, of them, but I'd never actually heard one. But I knew it was traditional Irish music, so I knew it was going to be good, because it's Celtic music, really. And coming from Wales, and I'm a Celt anyway. So it's, I thought that would be interesting, and then I was told that Joe Henry was producing, and I've worked with Joe before, so I thought, well, it's got to be interesting, and it's always a nice excuse to come to Ireland, you see.
Froth and frowned, feareth to lose.
Well, with carols, traditional carols, if you like, when I was a child, I used to go around houses singing, like children do, at Christmas time, and I liked that. I liked singing, standing outside of houses, and I used to try and go and sing by myself, because my friends didn't sing that well. So if we went in a bunch, we never made much money. But if I went by myself, I found, I could make more money. So I was interested in carols as a child at Christmas, to go and sing them outside people's homes. So I've always liked carols since a child. But the Wexford Carols, I thought would be interesting, because it's when I looked into it further, that I found that it was about a time in Ireland, when things were outlawed, you couldn't sing and you couldn't have mass. There's a few of the songs that refer to that. How can you have Christmas without mass, like that, how can you? So it was a time, I think, when a lot of them were written, that they were outlawed, if you like. So it just seemed very interesting to me to have a listen to them and see what they would sound like. Then we started getting some what the project was going to be, and Caitriona's album, that it was her album, and she wanted to do them. She had found the original melodies, because apparently a lot of the lyrics were still available, but a lot of them were sung to the same melody, because they had actually lost the original melodies, because they're so old. So Caitriona had found a lot of the older melodies, so I was interested in hearing them, and then so she gave me as much information as she could.
The heavenly babe will have...
First of all, I didn't want, hopefully, that they were not going to be too strict, because I've never really liked to sing a song note for note, and that's why I didn't get into opera when I was young. I went for some singing lessons, and the teacher said, that I could have become an opera singer, but it always seemed too strict to me. I wanted to be more of a free spirit, so I wanted to bring that, if possible, to the carols, that finally we would know which ones we were going to do. But I still wanted them to, but I didn't want to wander too far, because the melodies are very important, and after Caitriona finding a lot of these original melodies, I didn't want to go changing that too much, but I still wanted to give it myself. I still wanted to sound like me, not to sort of be too strict with the timing of the songs, musically, timing wise, so that I needed a little freedom, and I was told that I would get that, and as it's turning out, I am. And it's sounding really, really good, because we're recording them live, so we have a structure the band and myself. And so, you know, you set the key and then you move it around in the studio. Like I like to record anyway. And so that's a bit like starting over again, you know, like the way I've been recording lately anyway. It's like going back to when I started singing in Wales. You know, you just sing, either you learn to play some chords on the guitar and you go around pubs and clubs. And so this is sort of like that. It's more honest music than some things, you know, that you record over your career. Sometimes you do things. I've never really recorded anything just because it's been commercial. You know, I've always had to. It has to have something that I can put myself into. So that's what interested me to these carols. That hopefully I could express myself through these wonderful carols, and so far it's working.
When shall we come?
This is what the plan was and still is to record them in Ireland, you know, with an Irish band and Irish singers. Not all Irish, but the singers anyway. But to sort of give it something a little different, you know, because I don't know how many of the Wexford Carols have been recorded before. I haven't heard too many of them, to be honest with you. So, you know, one or two I know, but that was it. So I was very interested. First of all, you know, when I was asked to do it, I thought, well, then they must think that I can bring something to it that maybe hasn't been done yet.
Banks of every side.
First of all, I think it's the way I sing, the sound of my voice, maybe the male side of it, you know, because there's quite a few female singers. So I'm pleased that I was asked to do it, you know, to be the male voice on it, I think, so far. But it was a nice feeling being asked, because I thought, well, they must know what I'm capable of doing, or I wouldn't be asked to do it. And that's a nice thing when you're not known not only for commercial things, you know, that you've done in your life, that there is substance there, you know, that there's something in your voice and in your interpretation that can work with these carols, and that's, I'm very pleased to say, is happening. But I'm still, you know, I want to sound like me. You know, I want it to be very honest. So that's when I was listening to it back, I thought, I don't want it to be too strict, but I don't want to wander too far either. There's a fine line there, you know, to be honest with the material, and not to wander too far, not to sort of take these wonderful carols and, you know, and do something completely different with them. I don't think that's fair. I think you should be honest and not wander too far. But then I think with the different voices on there and the instrumentation, that you're getting a varied interpretations, are varied from the different people that are performing them. But the first thing you have to realize that they're beautiful carols, and to try and do them justice. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Then shall